Hello everyone, my name is Pratik Tambre and today we are at the 8th edition of the Asia Pacific Precious Metals Conference here in Singapore. I have Mr. Weibin Deng from World Platinum Investment Council here. Hello sir, how are you doing?
How are you? Good to see you again.
Good to see you again sir, and welcome to the 8th edition of the Asia
Thank you.
Pacific
Thank
Precious
you.
Metals Conference. So if you can just talk a little bit about WPIC and the new initiatives or the reports or anything which new has come up in the WPIC since the last year.
I think World Platinum Investment Council was founded by 6 mining companies in South Africa. They are focusing on the platinum and PGM mining, and they delegate WPIC to develop the investment market for physical platinum. We have been in the market for 10 years. I think we have been working with many institutions, especially the fabricator, wholesaler, retailer for the physical bars and coin, banks, fund managers, exchange, and helping the global market to be aware of the investment in physical platinum. Since our last APPMC, I think we have been making very good progress in the Asia market, especially in China. I think we have been growing the China market to be one of the biggest physical platinum bars and coin markets in the world, account for more than 50% of the consumptions in the world. And also, since last year, we also work with the Singapore Silver Bullion, and then they become our partners, and then we helping them to launch the platinum investment product available to the Singapore and international investors as well. I think we are also working with new companies in Japan and helping them to be more aware of the investment value for platinum, and also trying to educate the local investor to be aware of the investment value for platinum. I think in particular in China, I think we are making very good progress in the physical bars and coin. We work with the China Gold Coin and helping them to launch the 1 kilo platinum investment bar at the end of last year, and also for the coming years. And then we also have some new product, especially a new product on the platinum panda. That would be 100-gram platinum panda available by the end of this year. So I think the investor interest in platinum have been picking up, and also is supported by the recent rallies in the platinum price. So I think the market is becoming more and more, I would say, sensible about why platinum should be going up and why platinum is an investment vehicle among other precious metal products.
Yeah, you spoke about China intensively, and you spoke about how WPIC is working in China to educate the population there. You also wrote an article for Bullion World Hour magazine about the platinum surge in China.
Yes.
If you can just explain as to why this platinum surge has happened, and as China being such a big market for gold, do they consider platinum equally important as gold in the Chinese market as of now?
Yes, I think the recent rally for platinum comes with 2 important factors. I think from the big picture or the context, I think we have been telling the world that platinum start to be in deficits in 2023, and then 2024 and 2025. I think it's 3 years consecutive deficits. I think, but over the last 2 years, the market have no response. It looks like the market want to see some good news from the demand side rather than the supply side. So I think because over the last 2 years, we tell the world that platinum in deficit because the supply from South Africa is been declining because the lack of a long-term investment on the mine, and then the basket price for the PGM is too low, which making the miners are difficult in financials. I think that is not. It looks like that is not the world want to hear. I think the market want to see the news story on demand. I think starting at the end of last year, we became aware that I think the Chinese jewelry fabricator, wholesaler, and also retailer, they have been suffer from the high gold price. I believe that this is quite similar to India as well. I think in 2024, the gold jewelry consumption have been down by 25% compared to last year, year over year. And then from the first quarter of this year, and then the consumption is down another 25% year over year. I think that's why I think the smaller, especially the smaller and the medium fabricators, they found that it's difficult to survive in the high gold price market. And then they try to find a cheap alternative. I think at the beginning that they didn't pick platinum, they picked silver.
Yeah.
But it looks like silver didn't meet the appetite of the jewelry consumer. And then starting at the end of last year, some smaller wholesaler, they starting to push on the platinum. So when they starting to increase the order for platinum, because they build a new showroom, a lot of the new showroom and the counter in Shenzhen, which is the hub of the jewelry wholesaling and fabrications. So when they're starting to stocking up the platinum jewelry in the showroom, and then it pushed the factory to increase the capacity, fabrication capacity. And then by doing that, they have to stocking up the material, the metals. So we see that in Shenzhen, more and more smaller, medium company stocking up platinum for fabrication. And then that caused a shortage of metals in China. And then because China do not have a primary supply of platinum, they have to import the metal from overseas. And then we see the market respond. That's why I think international banks and traders found that a lot of metal actually have been imported by the Chinese into the China market. And they were not aware of that. So last month when I was in London for the London Platinum Week, I delivered presentations to a group of the audience and then explain to them why this is happening and why now. And then I showed the pictures, the videos about how the surge of platinum jewelry in China again. Because China have a long history of platinum jewelry. I think in the 2000s, I think platinum jewelry have been very popular. I mean, if you walk into the retail shop, you see a lot of platinum jewelry and a very small counter for gold. That is the good history for platinum. That's why in the Chinese jewelry business, I think people still have a good memory about platinum jewelry. And then that's why when the gold price is too high, and then they are turned to platinum. I think they will take some time for the consumer to reaccept the platinum jewelry. I think right now it's more on the upstream, saying that the fabricator, wholesaler, and retailers are stocking up the jewelry, but they need to work hard to market the jewelry to the consumer, make sure that they accept the jewelry. And in order to do that, I think they have a lot of things to do. They need to improve the design of the jewelry, making it more, I would say, adaptable to the Chinese consumer. And then also they need to improve the market structure, perhaps work with WPIC, for example, try to lower the fabrication costs, try to narrow the sell and the buyback gap so that people will see the value propositions of the jewelry. And also, as I say, that this is going to take some time, so it need I would say WPIC, PGI, and all other industrial body to work together so that we can make sure that this demand is sustainable.
You have spoken a lot about supply and demand and how the prices have not reacted to it according to you, and then you spoke about demand as well. So if you can just tell us the key factors or the key exhibitors for supply and demand in the years to come or this year as well.
Yeah, I think for the 2025, I think we just published our quarterly report in May. So basically, based on the independent data from Metal Focus and WPIC forecast, the market will be in deficit in 2025. The gap would be about 1 million ounces. So this is caused by the supply challenge. I think because the basket price and the platinum price have been low over the years, and then actually the South African miner have been suffer financially. So there are lack of incentive to make long-term investments in the mining project, and also to maintain the existing mining facility. So we see that actually over the last few years, the primary supply of platinum have been in decline. And also in the recycling side, we see that because of the high inflation in Europe and in Americans, and then the people have to prolong the use of the existing vehicle. So it looks like the scrap of the vehicle is going to be lower than expected, which means that the recycling supply from the auto catalyst will be lower than forecast. I think that is the two major reasons causing the supply lower than previous year. But on the demand side, there's some good news. The first good news is that people saw that the battery vehicle will be quickly penetrate into the global market. But it looks like, except China, I think for European market and North American market, the penetration of battery vehicle is slower than what we thought. And then that is good for the auto catalyst platinum demand. And also in the industrial, we see that it become more stable because over the last few years, I think this is all because of the expansion of the capacity, especially in the fiberglass in China, causing the strong growth in the demand. But right now it's been slowing down. So, but the good thing is that we see the jewelry actually is, I think, is coming back. I think for China, we're looking at about 25% increase for platinum jewelry demand. But for the rest of the world, we see that there's a moderate growth, especially in North America and Europe. And for India, it's a different story because a lot of the Indian platinum jewelry actually is export to the US market. But because of the tariff, it looks like the fabrication of platinum jewelry in India should be lower than before. But I believe that if the tariff can be resolved, and then the India market should be resuming the growth,
Yeah.
because I think India is a big market, and also you guys have been doing quite well in exporting the jewelry to Middle East to the American. So I think the jewelry side is a good story, especially in China. As I just said, that I think the Chinese jewelry fabricators have been looking at the platinum again. I think that's good news. And also in the investment side, we see that China have been becoming one of the biggest physical buy in the coin market after the years of work by WPIC. We also see that other markets like Singapore and also North America, the interest in platinum is getting better, especially after the recent rallies in the market. So the investor interests are coming back to platinum. So I think platinum should have a much better potentials in the futures. I believe that this will attract more investors, helping to support the price and the demand.
If you can just give us a recap about Shanghai Platinum Week and what we can look out for in Shanghai Platinum Week this year.
Okay, sure. I think Shanghai Platinum Week was created and hosted by WPIC jointly with two other Chinese state-owned agents for the precious metal. One is China Gold Association. The other one is CPMIC, stand for China Industrial Precious Metal Committee. What the purpose of this platform is trying to increase the communication and also the exchange of ideas in the PGM market between the East and the West. We never define ourselves or SPW as specifically for investment. We want to bring everybody in the supply chain to Shanghai, sitting together, share the idea, share the perspective of the market, and share the information that I have. I think after the last 4 years, Shanghai Platinum Week have played a very important role, helping the international miner, investor, analysts to have a better understanding about the Chinese market, especially in the automotive demand, in the industrial demand, and more recently in the investment demand and the jewelry demand. So I think at the very beginning, I think Shanghai Platinum Week is a small event, only attracting 200 to 300 people. And I think starting after the removal of the restriction for the COVID, and then we welcome more and more international participants, especially the miners from South Africa, investors from the South Africa, and also international companies from Europe, from American, and also from Japan, from South Korea, from Singapore as well. So right now, I think it became one of the biggest events for the PGM market. People will say that London Platinum Week, Shanghai Platinum Week, and also New York Platinum Week. I think this is become flagship events for the industry. I think for this year's, I think it's more interestingly is that SBMA is going to bring delegations of more than 20 people to Shanghai to join Shanghai Platinum Week, because they view that SPW is not only for platinum, not only for PGM. They also see a lot of the gold jewelry and gold peoples are coming to this event because they all belong to precious metal.
Yeah.
And also we have been helped to try to establish the connections between the Chinese and the international company, We are facilitating their business exchange. We are helping them to communicate about the futures of PGM. So I think SPW is going to be a more and more important platform for peoples in the PGM in precious metal in the futures.
If you can just tell me what are the benefits of being a SBMA member?
Being a member of the SPMA, we are very happy. I think we have been supporting the APPMC for consecutive 4 years. I think we have been sponsored starting 4 years ago and supporting the event. I think being a member of SPMA, we actually build up stronger networks around the Asian market, around the Asia market. It looks because I think SPMA is not just for Singapore precious metal industry, it's for the whole Asian. I think that's why we established our partnership with Silver Bullion in Singapore. We also looking opportunities in Indonesia, in Malaysia, and also in Thailand. So we have been I think we have been working with Albert and Margaret and together to try to explore the new opportunity for platinum, helping the Asian market better understand the metal, better understand its value. Hopefully, we can bring more products available to the Asian market. I mean, especially maybe in India. We are also looking to have a new partner in India in the futures.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
once
you.
again. Thank you.